just to double check that it's live and everything is going well.
All right, fine. Hold on, let me chat.
Yeah, it's booting. It's coming up now. Whenever it comes up. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's do this. Let me know when you see it. Maybe you don't.
Hold on. Can't see it yet though. It should pop up in my notification, but I can
Okay, I see. We're live. We're live now, but I want to make sure I see you. So.
All right. We're live?
All right, we're good. We're good. Welcome everyone to another episode of CRIMA. That stands for Combat Ready International Mixed Martial Arts. But what we're doing here, we're talking mostly wrestling, and I want to talk to all my Filipino wrestlers here, and get some information on what they're doing now and how everything is going. And so tonight, here on live Facebook, we have none other than Robin Sane.
Yo, what's up, guys?
But see, I didn't do that, Rob. I didn't give you a great introduction. So I want you to pull out a better introduction. That's
you
what
guys
I want.
are talking to the Tracer, Trailblazer, Speed Chaser. They call me the Daredevil himself. I am Robin Sane.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Definitely, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. So how you doing, man? How's everything going?
I'm doing great. I'm doing a lot of dad stuff, work and all, rehab, some my broken arm and stuff. I'm doing great overall.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Hold on 1 second. I just want to make sure that we are. I see Jando goes on. I want to make sure that people are seeing this. If anyone is seeing this, can you please press the like button and make sure, give us feedback if there's some audio problems or anything like that. I just want to make sure that me and Robin are being seen, So anyway, so what's been going on, man? You just been like everyone else in this pandemic, huh?
Yeah, but mostly I'm doing work. I'm not work from home. I'm not doing work from home. So I travel a lot every night on commute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's good. And what else? I mean, just taking care of your kids, your family, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, mostly what I'm doing is trying to watch a lot of wrestling, but it's not your typical indie wrestling. It's not your typical the WWE or AEW kind of stuff. Trying to watch old school wrestling kind of stuff.
Nice.
There was a point in time this year that I took my time off from wrestling. I just needed a break, a long break.
Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I just wanted, I just wanted to, just see how you were doing and everything. But like I start off with everyone, tell everyone, how did you get started in pro wrestling, and at what age?
Recently, you interviewed JDL, so I started almost the same time as he did. So I started 2014. Crazy story. I met the guys from PWR that time on a WrestleMania viewing party on Mandela Park on Mandaluyong. and we were supposed to go after the show, but
Mm-hmm.
I was telling the guys, I had their referee Ryan and my best friend Mr. Lucha, and
Okay.
I told them these are the wrestlers. Yeah, these are the wrestlers that I'm talking about, and they said, "Oh, which one?" Because we don't know we don't know which one, but all of them who
Right.
stayed were PWR. So I tried to ask them if I could be a wrestler, and they hesitated because I was really thin back then,
Mhm.
100 pounds. But they saw Mr. Lucha and they said, you should wrestle. So
Okay.
that's why they welcomed us because of Mr. Lucha.
Okay. But now, when you were a kid growing up, did you watch the Pinoy wrestling? I asked all the Pinoy wrestling you guys now that's wrestling now. Did you watch the old, wrestling back in the 80s?
No, I've never seen Pinoy wrestling back when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
The very first wrestling match that I've ever watched was Mankind versus the Big Show, very live
Okay.
match.
Okay. So what about any other combat sports? What about like MMA, karate, jujitsu, judo? Were you interested in that? What were you interested in as a kid growing up? And because to get into wrestling, man, you had to be. For me, I think a kid has to be a little reckless, to get into pro wrestling when he becomes an adult or a teenager. So what kind of stuff were you into back when you were a small kid growing up?
I did karate when I was a kid, and I was in the varsity of football
Okay.
of soccer
Uh-huh.
um, when I was in high school. And
Okay.
I was just this kid who wants to play with everyone all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
then I at one point I thought I wanted to be a luchador like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where it started, really.
Oh, okay. Good deal. And so, from the time that you started, when what time? How old were you when you met Mr. Lucha and all those guys?
If
How old
I
were you
if
then?
I can remember the back of my head, it's I think it's I was 9 years old at that
Mhm.
time. 9 years
Oh,
old.
okay. Uh huh. But then, I mean, but when you guys got into getting into like PWR, how old were you when you first walked into
Um,
that situation?
well, I'm 28 right now. 7 years. I was like 21 years old that time.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Very young.
And then, so like I heard from, like JDL and some other guys, that it started out. Um, Hold on, I want to make sure my internet's good. It started out with a fan. You guys like had like a fan group, and then you guys started wanting to get into the wrestling.
Um, based from the stories, because I've never been in those meetings, or I've never been in that Facebook group that they had before. Based on the stories of William and Veronica, one of the first few people that started the whole community or the
Mm-hmm.
group. One was KT or no, Kando Terror, and
Okay.
yeah, and as they said, Frankie 13 created the Facebook group, Philippine Wrestling
Okay.
Revolution.
Okay. So it was Frankie 13 who started it and everything, and then the rest of you guys kind of joined in and everything. And so, how long did you stay with PWR before you branched out into MWF?
After the first show.
After the first show. Okay. And
Funny,
okay, so go
yeah,
ahead.
but funny because I just want to mention that I was the first match that time,
Okay.
and I don't know, I did not expect the audience that time. I thought there's just gonna be 30 people, or just
Mm-hmm.
10 to 30 people. There's a lot of
Right.
people, and I was just a nervous wreck. And at that time, whoever my opponent was, and it was Mayhem Brannigan.
Okay.
Kicked me in the eye before, like a week before the event. So I had just one eye working that match. So it was a terrible experience. I thought I was gonna go blind. Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Mayhem Brannigan. I remember that. He's the guy I contacted. Well, when I first came to the Philippines, 2015, I looked online and I Googled, and he was the first person that I talked to. And he invited me to you guys' show there, and that's where I seen you guys working and everything like that. But hold on, I want to give a shout out to my cousin, Ronnie Artist, Fremont, North Carolina. What's up, Ron Cuzzo? Jen Dogo say hello, Coach, and hello, Robin Sane. Kyle Martin said hello there. Yeah, we also drinking. What are you drinking there? What you got drinking? What you drinking there, Robin?
Pilsen.
See
Pilsen.
this? All right, I'm drinking this right here. Can you see this?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's sweet.
That's the old school. That's all I know. My girl told me, she said that's the old school rum. So yeah, and then this picture behind me, that's your boy right there, Chili Willie, back in the day. Just so everyone knows, that is Chili Willie. That's me, probably about 20 years ago. So, but anyway, so after your first show, you left.
Yeah.
So that had to be, I mean, not going into a lot of stuff, but whatever you want to talk about. But for a young wrestler, you just had your first show and then you leave the company. What were you thinking then, man? What was, like, you were thinking to start your own, or you were like just saying, oh man, I had enough of this, and it's just your first show?
A lot has happened before the first event. It wasn't just to clear things out, and I know you asked somebody this already. You asked JDL the other day. It wasn't just creative difference. It was a lot of stuff. There was bullying involved too. There was also yeah.
Okay,
and
we'll get into that.
Yeah. We'll get into that. There's a lot of stuff. 3 people I remember. 3 people left before us because I brought along Ninja, Mr. Lucha, Tala, and referee Ryan along with me. So practically it was like mass exodus what happened that time. And they weren't expecting it because we were quiet the whole time. And at one meeting, and they were just like venting out after they were done about their management stuff. I just told them that I need to be honest with you guys. A lot has happened, and we don't agree that we should have had experienced that at an early stage of our wrestling career.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. And I told them we're just gonna leave. And then we didn't tell them. We haven't told them our plan yet because there wasn't any plan yet. There wasn't any MWF yet. Until I made that one phone call with Veronica that time.
Okay.
At first, she didn't trust me back then because she thought I was just getting information or I was just trying to make her life miserable. But I told her, I'll leave just to prove to you that what I'm saying is real. What we experienced is almost the same as you did. And we left and we met, and then we started this group. It was Hybrid Pro Wrestling, first called before MWF. Hybrid Pro Wrestling. What did you imagine?
Okay.
Right?
Wow. Hybrid. Okay. Did you guys ever have a show, or it didn't plan out yet? You just formed a group and then just trained, but you didn't have a show?
We actually found Fabio and gigs after the year after that, and we trained in Tandang Sora.
Okay.
That's in it was what was that? I forgot the gym, but we trained there, and we did like a show type of type of training. So we pretended that it was a show. People
Okay,
were watching. People were watching,
I see.
and we
Okay.
were supposed to get into a deal, but no, didn't come to terms because we didn't have the money. We weren't prepared. We didn't have the ring gear. We didn't have
Mm,
the.
right,
We're not
right,
prepared generally. Too many to mention.
right, right, right. Okay, I see. So, okay, now let's get into this. Um, from there's a lot of different guys, wrestlers and girls, that I've been around here since I've been in the Philippines, that have had their own issues with certain companies. Like mostly with PWR or whatever. Um, why did you think that was? Like you left right after your first match. So, um, what was the like you said? You said it was bullying, but what type of bullying was it, and how long were you dealing with it before you left? Like, did you just leave? Like, were you dealing with it like 1 month, 2 months, or the whole time that you were there? You know what I
Uh,
mean?
if I can remember, the first test show. So the test show wasn't really like a not like an organic audience. It was just all of them were friends. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't consider that really as a show. I don't know to some, but
Right.
after that there were like discriminations, and there were like cliques. Early that time there were already groups that cliques, and
Okay.
we were
Yeah.
left in the background, and almost close to being ridiculed every day, every training day, and we were called the children of the unknown, something like that. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. Hold on. Stop. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on. What do you mean by discrimination? Because I'm a black guy. All right, and of course, living in America, we get discriminated constantly. All right, there's a black and there's a white issue there. Now here in the Philippines, you're all the same.
right,
You're right. I mean, you're,
right.
you're you're all Asian. You're all Filipino. So how could they? I mean, I probably would know what you're talking about, where you're coming from, but maybe to the viewers, explain discrimination in that sense, because how some people will probably say, well, how could they discriminate within each other? You know what I mean?
Well, in layman terms, we were the less we were below average in the status quo. Like they were the rich guys. They were the coin,
Okay. Not
and
not 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 when it comes to talent or wrestling. It was social status
not well. It's
a
also
little bit.
talent. There were times that referee Ryan, because I really don't want to mention, but he gets all sorts of name calling that time because he doesn't pick up well at that time.
Okay.
So
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, yeah, things like those.
Okay. Okay. And so the guys that left, and then the guys that stayed, uh, how did you guys still communicate with each other on some type of basis, or did you guys go to their shows to watch their shows? Did they come to your shows when you went to MWF and things like that? And then, if so, how were you perceived? Going out wrestling in front of them.
There were a lot of you know uh there were a lot of times that uh, I was about to contact them because we were kind of hopeless on creating a promotion or making a show, and some of us thought maybe we should go back, but that wasn't really my option. So
Mhm.
I just try to greet them. I don't want any animosity anymore. Like
Right.
yeah, water under the bridge or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't
Exactly.
want.
Yeah.
We're starting this promotion. I want a clean slate. I don't want you guys to bash our company. I don't want you guys to bash our careers before we even begin. But sometimes you can't really prevent those things from happening.
Right,
There,
right,
there are
exactly.
people, yeah, there are people like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good that you guys kept going and kept the positive thing going on. I want to say hello to Marvin. I'm sorry, not Marvin. Marvin, forgive me. Martin.
Martin.
Martin, what's going on, man? I'm sorry. I didn't look at my thing there. And then I want to say hello to Lynn. And then Ida, she's also coming in, and then Anton. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. But when you moved on, because when I started training the guys at AOW, I kind of saw from looking over at you guys, because we were training at the same facility. I saw that you were probably like one of the coaches there, you, Mr. Lucha. And so how did you get to that status of like being a leader in the MWF?
So for one, I had experience. So I was also taught by Draven Sloan, a guy who literally did wrestling in the United States and was sort of mentored by Hernandez at that time. So I think I have the credibility that time.
Right.
There wasn't really somebody that can teach us back then. There weren't anyone at all. We can't contact anyone, and we don't have the money to have someone fly down here and teach us pro wrestling. So I had experience. I know a lot of shit in pro wrestling at that time.
Right.
So I tried to teach what I have.
Yeah. I saw you guys are doing good, and everything. I actually went to some of your matches, and I would say, here in the Philippines at that time, I would call you the Rey Mysterio of MWF or Philippine wrestling, because you were like the one that was doing all the things that Rey Mysterio was doing and shit, and I was like, okay, this kid right here, he's a little kid, but he's everywhere. He's like, stop him, cut him off, do something, you know what I mean? But then you'd have guys like Rex. He was like the big, and so you guys had different styles. Mr. Lucha, and I like going to you guys' show. You guys shows at the time at MCS, man, they're pretty good. I mean, some of them weren't long, of course. Didn't have the they didn't know the ring time or the time for the
ready.
Yeah, they didn't know. So a lot of guys just went out there and just threw everything but the kitchen sink. And so, but for the most part of it, the shit was good and everything. And but for you, wrestling overseas, did you get a chance to wrestle overseas like any other? Not overseas. I'm sorry. We say overseas in America. But
Yeah. No. Fortunately, I did. First with JDL, we tagged against the Horrors, Butcherman and Dr. Gore in Singapore in SPW.
Right.
After that, it was Wrestle Nation with actually the only person that I know there at that time was Chris Panzer, Crystal, and Eurasian Dragon in Malaysia. My PW, Malaysian Pro Wrestling. I faced Lady Killer and it was a triple threat, me, Lady Killer, and Cornelius Lowe. After that was Hong Kong Wrestling Federation. I had loads of fun that time. 5 days of wrestling. I met the guys from Dragon Gate.
Nice.
Tajiri was there. Andrew Tang was there. There's a lot of guys there. Ho Ho Lin, of course. Best experience I've ever had. Crazy. I was very fortunate that they would be able to book me overseas, right? And
nice.
What I learned the most working overseas is this shit isn't just a hobby time. type shit that you get to do all the things that you want to do. This is business. So I was very humble that time. Building the ring, preparing for the show and whatnot, traveling. It was very humbling. I really felt that, you know, I wasn't uh, I wasn't that an important person in pro wrestling. Not like here. I'm kind of known, top guy in MWF that time, and people kind of recognize me if you're a wrestling fan. But you know, if you work overseas, if you work elsewhere, you get to make a name for yourself, and that for me was the most humbling experience I've ever felt, and I can't really describe it in words. You know.
Yeah, because I look at it here. You said you guys didn't have a ring, right? And so you wrestled in a boxing ring, which was already set up for you, right? Even though the ropes were probably messed up or whatever. It's a boxing ring. It's not built for wrestling. So you guys, pretty much in all your promotions, even PWR at the time, you guys didn't really have. We would say pay your dues in wrestling in the States, because we had to put up the ring. We had to set up the ring. You guys had no clue really until you started getting your ring. What was underneath the ring? What was the boards look like, the padding looked like. Didn't know how to tighten the ropes. You didn't know jack shit when it came to doing that. And so I guess when you went internationally and you started putting up rings and helping out, setting up the show, it was like an eye opener to you. You was like, oh my God. because in the Philippines, you don't know anything about that. And still now, I think there's a lot of wrestlers here that have never even touched the ring, because maybe if they work for a company, the guys will hire somebody else to put up the ring, when in fact it should be wrestlers to put up the ring. It should be referees putting up that ring, not just trainees, but I'm talking guys that's on the main card. Get in there, get your hands dirty, learn, because that will give you a humbling experience. So that when you do go to somewhere else, you already have a little bit of wrestling etiquette, that that you're not just a privileged motherfucker that just says, okay, well, and it's not that you guys were privileged. It's just that you didn't have the money, or you didn't have the resources at the time to buy a ring, or your promoter didn't. Where now, as at MWF, you have your own ring. So guys and girls are putting up the rings now. They're learning how that shit works, and so that you're right. That is very humbling to put up the ring, because a lot of people don't know, even in WWE, it's the referees that help put the ring up in the WWE.
Right.
It's not somebody that they hire to come in and just say, okay, we're gonna put the ring up. No, the top referees in WWE, they go out and put that shit up. You know what I mean? I don't know about AEW. Probably like that in AEW and Impact, Ring of Honor, so on. And I've had my share of putting up the ring. That's how I started ECW. So you have to pay your dues somehow. What do you think about the Filipino wrestlers versus like you went to China, you went to Singapore? The difference when it comes to just the way they wrestle, the way you guys wrestle, the way they wrestle. What do you think? I mean, in all aspects, what do you think about it?
I think really it's in the cultural difference, really. How should I start? Well, first off, it's in context of what we're talking about. I really don't want to knock on anyone's door, really. Maybe I'm just referring to my old promotion, MWF, just so I won't be offending anybody, I think the Philippines, the wrestlers here are treated as superstars at an early age. That's why they didn't get they didn't get to experience what I experienced in Singapore and Malaysia or Hong Kong. I was a worker. I felt like a worker, and I felt that it was very fulfilling for me to do those things, because in Singapore, um, they also help out. Those guys are also how should I call this? Because I don't want to call anybody in Southeast Asia or maybe Philippines veterans yet. Nobody here can call themselves veterans. In my opinion, that's just an opinion.
Really?
But yeah,
Wow.
I even myself, I don't
Okay.
call myself veterans. I'm green as fuck.
Okay.
Honestly
Good.
speaking, because in order for you to be called a veteran, you need to go to place. You make some name or whatever.
Right.
In Malaysia, it's kind of different. They're not treated as superstars. They're treated as like one family, like a classroom. They're treated like students.
Okay.
They try to learn in every show, and they try to help out. It was like a unified group of people that just wants to make a name for themselves, or the promotion. They want to make their promotion bigger. Unlike here, everybody's waiting at the back, trying to talk, trying to laugh, and all the other guys on the production team are doing all the work, doing all the things, and they just think
Right.
about the match, and
Yes.
nothing's
Yes.
really wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing's really wrong with that. But
Right.
how about you need to experience all of these things so that you would know that this is business that we're dealing with. This is not happy
Nice.
playtime,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
in Hong
That's
Kong.
a.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just saying that's a good observation that you made there, because I noticed that too. Because they don't have to worry about the things like the promoter. Like I've seen, we're gonna stick to NWF. You know, Tariq already has everyone setting up certain things, so the wrestlers don't really have to worry about that. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about shit. They just go in the back and they just worry about their match, which is good.
Yeah.
Thank God they have a good promoter like that. That's a hell of a promoter to have everything set up for you, and then once you get out there, you just do your thing. But when we were coming up, and even certain guys now, I mean, certain promotions now, you got to get your ass out there. I mean, you will only probably have 10 to 15 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most to go back there, change from your work clothes into your gear, and then talk about your match, and now it's showtime. So you only had that amount of time, but now guys have like hours, man. They sit around, they
Days,
chill,
weeks, months.
It's like, oh, really? What I found also, I've seen, or I've heard. What was it? Somebody asked me one time, maybe I was in a group chat or something. Maybe it might have even been with AOW, where guys were trying to talk their match online messaging each other, like weeks before the match. Hey, what are we gonna do here? And what are we gonna do there? Like, bro, you cannot. You just not that you should wing it always, but just worry about that at that time. But go ahead.
No, I was about to say that first off, I want to address what you just said right now. Like there are people in MWF that likes to wing it, but they have less experience. So when they try to wing it, they're literally trying to just call in the ring, but they don't know what to do. It's a mess. It's a mess. You need to train that. You need the experience for that. Now,
Right.
I just want to clear it out that it's never wrong for you to talk about your match prior to the event, or maybe the week before the event. No, it's not wrong.
Well, see, that's the difference there. That's the difference between the new style now wrestling and before, because we didn't have, of course, back when we didn't have the internet, where even we had telephone. We didn't get up, and I didn't call somebody and say, "Yo, Robin, our match is next Saturday, the 27th. What you want to do, bro?" I mean, that shit would have never go down like that. But now, okay, it's okay because you gotta go with the times. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? I'm not, but I'm just saying when you are busy help setting up the ring, the lights, the chairs, you only have a certain amount of time before you go back and change into your wrestling gear,
Right.
and then talk about your match and then go out.
Right. No, actually, when I was in Hong Kong, and this is the part where this is really my favorite. I was with Ken Warren that time. We tagged twice. It was a 3-day event, 5 days in Hong Kong, 3-day event.
Right.
And we really didn't have the time to talk about the match because whenever we go out, we don't talk about wrestling. We go out, drink, look at go sightseeing, whatever. And that's what I learned from Ho Ho Lun. And however people see him like an asshole or whatever, and he's not really. He's just that kind of a grumpy old person. And no, the time I know you were there. The time when Ho Ho Lun versus Robin Sane, kind of a money match. It wasn't really what I expected it to be, but it was good. It was a good experience. You know why? Because he talked so fast. Like he didn't want to plan out the fucking match 2 days before or the day before or even the morning before that, and then like an hour before the show starts, he told me, okay, let's talk about the match. And I was like, okay, all right. I did try to pressure people were trying to pressure me. Oh, why aren't you talking about the match? Just let him be. Just let him be. I want to learn about the things that you want to tell me. And he's talked so fast and try to keep up. And that developed something very beautiful in my style right now. Because I never talk about the match anymore before the event. I never try to write my match anymore. I talk about the match by pointers, like the structure or whatever, so that I won't get to think about it too much because again, not no one in particular, but some people here in Philippines, they have a month-long preparation, and you'd still get a crappy match. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a month-long preparation. You do the match like 3-4 times, write the match, like rewrite it, edit it. If you go there, it's like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. But hey, let's work what we have. It's
that's
that's
the thing, though. It's and I also think that people get it mixed up with storyline and matches. So you can have someone tell you a story. Okay, me and Robin saying, the storyline is, you're gonna your storyline is you are going to have 3 or 4 matches over me. I don't want to give away all the secrets or whatever. You are the baby face from Japan or whatever. I'm just giving an example, and you just coming off a big win, and and now here comes Chili Willy, who wants to challenge you and take it into the next main event and whatever. Anyway, the storyline is that's what we're gonna have the story, not the match itself. You know what I mean? The match itself is okay. If the promoter says, "Okay, Chili Willy, you're up clean. That means that I'm gonna win with a clean pin, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? If the promoter says, "Okay, Robin, you're up with disqualification," that means you're gonna win by me being disqualified. Does not mean that we have to talk about every single thing that's going to happen in the match. Let me tell you one thing. When you go up top, I don't care where you go, you're not going to know who you're wrestling, first of all, until you get there. And you're not going to even know that until maybe half an hour before the show starts, or even before the show starts. If you're wrestling a veteran, you go to him. You don't go to him when he's the time that you go to him is when you see him lacing his boots. You go beside him and you say, "Sir, Chili Willy, or Shane Helms, would you like to talk about the match? Would you like to talk about the match? Not, this is what I'm going to do. Not, how many times I'm coming off the rope. You're going to ask him, would you like to talk about the match? And if he says, sure. And then you say, hey, I'll bump for you. I'll bump and feed for you, sir.
Right.
I'll sell for you. And then if he says, okay, what do you have or whatever, good. If he doesn't say anything, still good, but you're going to be nervous as fuck. You're going to be like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? But the thing is, you don't go in there and say, well, let's talk about the match, sir. Here's what I was thinking that we could do. You never tell a veteran that. You don't never tell him that. Hell no. You better not go into a locker room and say, this is what I think we should do. Yo, you get your ass kicked for sure. You know what I mean? I've only wrestled 2 people in the Philippines, and that was Billy Swade before I got hurt and Mr. Lucha. And both times they came to me with respect. Even Billy Swade, hey, what do you want to do? Chili, what do you want to do? Because I'm lax. I'm like, don't come to me too early and be like, yo, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Never come to me and tell me what you're going to do.
Maybe if we have, like that. Yeah, maybe if we had the match before, maybe I'd come to you before you're even in your ring gear. I'd come to you and maybe I'll ask you, what do you want to do after the show? Like something like that.
Yeah, you better, yeah. If I go up against somebody like you and I say, okay, and then it's time for the show's already started, and let's say we're number 3 or 4 in the match on the card, of course we got to sit there and talk about what we're gonna do. And I'm only gonna say, hey, here's the hot spots that we're gonna hit. You know what I mean? And then the ending or whatever. I don't want to know every single thing that you're gonna do because we don't know how the crowd is gonna react.
Right.
You don't know how the crowd is gonna react. And so you have to play up the crowd. And that's the thing I also talked about, guys going too long on their matches, because even me and you talk about what's going on in the back in the match. We don't have to get everything that we talked about out in the match.
Right, not everything, not literally everything, right?
Yeah, you don't. There's no way. You should not do that. You should not be the first match and go 20 minutes. No fucking way.
I don't want to mention. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that here. Not here.
Let me tell you, you do not want to be on any show, I'm telling you right now, and go 20 fucking minutes in the first match. If you do that, something wrong with you, something wrong with the guy that you're working, something wrong. And you're killing the show. You know what I mean? You really have to respect the show.
No. Yeah, if I could share, like, because I'm holding seminars recently in the pandemic in this year. Right now I can't do I can't continue the seminars because the COVID cases rose up. Sorry, I really don't want to mention that here, but I teach the students. I teach my students. Sorry, I teach the people in the NWF factory or the NWF roster that they kept asking me, why can't I do my shit? Why can't I do this? Why do I have to? Why do I have to think about the time limit or something like that? Because the place is fucking rented. If you exceed the first 2 fucking matches, you're trying to sell the main event, and if the main event is cut short, the main event is just 35 fucking minutes.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
It's crazy how things are here. Like
you should have chopped him. Anytime a student asks you a stupid question, you just chop him, man, and make him do some fucking push-ups. Like do something. Get out my face with that stupid ass question. Why can't you go longer? Why do you want to go longer? You're nobody. Yeah. You're not. You are not the fucking. Who knows you? No one knows you. So why do you even want to do that? We're trying to build the company first. You know what I mean? Right. If you do your part as an indie, if you do your part, then the Chiefs they will rise up. But unless there's a feud. Now, if me and you have a feud and it's for a championship belt, you're right. The first
Right.
match, second, that could go whatever because that's for a championship match. But can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're just a fucking curtain jerker, man,
Right.
go out there and do your 5-6 minutes and shut the fuck up and get back inside.
But I think there's two problems with people here. If they go 5 minutes, that they can't do a proper 5 minute match because they want to do a lot of things. In my opinion, everybody here really needs to. I don't want to say lack. Lack is a very strong word. A lot of people here train like 7 years, 6 years trained. The reason why I call myself green is because I'm still learning.
Thank you.
I want to go through the basics, even if it's in my 10 years. Like like people like Ho Holland, he still learns from the Dragon Gate guys. He's still humble, and that's my role model right there. Like
Yeah.
he does the basics first before he can even throw in a 630 whatever or like a Canadian destroyer or whatever.
Exactly.
Those are the satisfying things that you can do, but who are you doing it for? The company, the crowd, or yourself, right? Like you're doing it for yourself, and then what? You're gonna quit after a year? I mean,
Right.
yeah, I want to make a point here that the reason why you don't want to get that time you don't want to exceed the time limit is because you want them to come back. If they had enough of you or had enough of the wrestling experience on the first two matches, why the hell would they stay in the last four? Why would they even come back? Right?
Wow.
That's just my thing. That's just my
Bro,
philosophy.
it's like you have learned since this pandemic or something, since the first time I really met you. And I never really sat down and talked to you, but I can just tell, man, you are learning like big time. You have grown up in this business because everything you just said is what is needed if you want to go to the top. You will not, I don't care who you are, man, you will not go to the top unless you know basics. You must know basics. If you do not know how to lock up, transition into a headlock, into a fucking armbar, fucking top wrist lock. If you don't know how to transition into that before you even hit the ropes, don't even get in the ring. Don't even get in the ring. And so a lot of guys and girls, they don't want to do that because the only thing they see on television is hot spots. But they don't understand that it's a storyline that's going on in what you see on television. Those guys been in the business for years, 15, 20 years or so, and they still got to do basic. When you go up top, you are not going to get in there and do any top rope shit. Never. If they say run a 5-minute match, you better know how to run a match, and you better listen, and you better be able to bump and feed. Because if you don't, then you won't get a job. It's just that simple. It's just that simple,
And I think I can speak on behalf of the people that thinks otherwise, because I also felt like that. I felt that under that 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I want to do all the crazy things so that I could make a name for myself, so that people can remember me. Well, in fact, even if you do literally just headlocks and just maybe one international, a drop kick here and there, and maybe a roll up, it's your responsibility. That's the word. It's your responsibility to be exciting.
Right.
Like it's your.
Exactly.
I wanna share a story to a lot of people here. When Tajiri came, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he commented on how I move or how I did my drills and how I did my match. So I showed him. Um, and when I heard the comment, like I was very happy. And then I jumped into him. Like I told him, "Can I work in Japan?" And he said yes. But in Japan, the only people that they accept there, Tajiri said, are big guys. So you're not a big guy. You need to work on that before you can work in Japan. And I was like, what he's saying is true. Like I didn't know what to say. But that's a problem here in the Philippines. Now I'm trying to call everybody out. As I've seen in social media, a lot of people here, the wrestlers, are working out their bodies, trying to be in shape. But in the early days, everybody was out of shape. Maybe like 3, 4, 5 guys were in shape, but that's the whole business. Once people see that you're a wrestler, you're like a muscular dude, a big dude, they will come in and watch the show and the draw, right? So, but if they see somebody like wearing a mask, but like a scruffy, scrawny little dude who just wants to do wrestling playtime, they won't watch the match. That's the reason why the scene isn't growing. Really, that's just my opinion.
And you said it. It's a lot. I think a lot of wrestlers here when I first started seeing it, it was more. I looked at it as maybe because they didn't understand. It was more like a playtime thing to them. It wasn't, But since then, it's gotten much better. It's gotten a lot better. But I did see, certain guys go in the ring, and I thought maybe they're just playing around and they don't really take it serious, because if you get in there with a person that's really serious, you're gonna hurt. He's gonna hurt you for real. Not shoot on you, but he's just gonna make it so that this shit is not a fake thing, and so that's the thing, you really have to build your body up also. I would tell the guys at AOW, I would preach to them. I would say, hey, get in the gym. Maybe you can't afford the gym, but at least you can sit home and do some push-ups, sit-ups.
Yeah.
If you got a water jug, those blue water jugs, lift them. I said, because the crazy thing is, if people know or they see that you're training for wrestling, especially your family and then your outside friends, and then they tell someone, and then one day you walk into the store or you walking in the mall and they say, oh, that guy's a wrestler. And then people say, who? What guy?
Exactly.
Who, him? He's a wrestler? I bet you I can whip his ass, And so I told him, I said, I'm not the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I said, but when people see me, they're going to say, hey, this guy's something. I don't know if he's a wrestler or he's something, and that's the thing.
Right.
When you walk, when you go into the train or you walking or whatever, you want people to say, he's a boxer, he's something, he's athletic. I would think twice about robbing him, or I would think twice about, fucking with him because he looks like he could defend himself. But if you say you're a wrestler and people already think wrestling is already fake or whatever, and then you look like you don't belong, they're going to be like,
Exactly. If people didn't hear what I said the first part, that the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm one of those people who, people I'm a small guy,
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that they think about when I tell them that I'm a wrestler is like, oh really? You're a wrestler? No, really. I make fun of myself all the time. That's why I work out. The first time I set foot in the ring, I was literally 100 pounds. Literally 100 pounds. Very thin. And over time, I try to eat a lot. It's hard. It's hard. This industry that we're in, it's not all about the moves. It's about the looks too. I mean, hey, in MWF, I'm not the draw really. I'm the people, and excuse me if this sounds really, really I want to boast that I'm the product. I'm the wrestler that makes them watch again. But I'm
Of
not the
course.
person that draws. Because if they see me
Mm.
in the poster, they won't watch that fucking shit. You know, who the fuck is this Aladdin motherfucker, right? But right. I mean, the reason why Mr. Lucha was there for a long time is because he was big. He was wearing a luchador mask. Oh, this is wrestling. Let me watch
Mhm.
that, and that's our I believe in MWF, or maybe in Philippines, maybe we should reach out outside of our um, little precious community, because
Of
these
course.
guys these guys are also helping us. They're trying to pay 400 pesos, 350 pesos every
Right.
show. They
Yes.
also have a mission for us to be famous. They share these
Hmm.
things all the time. The least that we can do is, make this look like less of a dance and more of a fight,
Mm.
and reach out to the
Nice.
casuals that doesn't really accept wrestling because it's fake. Like
Mm.
that's the consensus. Like here in the Philippines, maybe in the world, everybody thinks that wrestling is fake. Well, la da, people still watch that shit because they're
Right.
entertained. But here in the
Exactly.
Philippines, I think the people here would watch if they would see something more of a fight than less than an acrobatic stunt.
Right.
And
Well,
that's it for me.
well, I agree with you now on a point. You know, I look at someone like Fab. I'm going to have him on next weekend. Uh, when I first saw him at MCS, I was impressed with that dude. I was like, yo, this guy hits hard for his size.
Biased
Um,
motherfucker of the business.
yeah, he hit hard for his size, and that's what I loved about him. I said, that's how you fuck. He could clean it up a little bit or whatever, but that comes in time, you know, being in the ring more. But his strikes was superb. And then on top of that, he could do some moves to incorporate that. So I was like,
Right.
yo, this motherfucker right here is good. And then moving forward to when he went up against Tajiri
Yuri.
at what was that place? In
Venice.
wherever it was. Yes,
Venice.
yes, yes.
Venice,
Yeah.
sorry.
When he went up against Tajiri and I saw that match, I was like, yeah, these guys are evolving. You, him, the whole crew. Even in PWR, even WUW, the whole wrestling scene is evolving now. It's starting to get better because before all you guys were just like you said, I thought they were playing. It was like it was
Right,
a
right,
joke.
right.
But now, you guys see the importance, and you're getting older. You're not young before. You're getting older, and you can see where this thing could go and where it could take you. Wrestling internationally, WWE coming here, different companies now want to come here. And so if you get different companies want to come here, that means different wrestlers are going to come here from different places, and their style is totally different, and they're going to take it
Right,
serious. And if
right,
you're not ready, if the Philippine wrestler is not ready, doesn't have the basics, doesn't have the size,
right, right.
he's in a rude awakening. If Rakishi and his crew come here, guys are for a rude awakening because those Samoan guys don't fuck around. They don't
I
when they
agree.
hit you, it's like so you have to be ready for that. But the Filipino wrestler does have that resilience of being proud and being strong, and you guys can adapt, and you do adapt, and eventually you get it and you work it. So I like what I see from the Philippine wrestling scene that's coming out now, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast. Is hopefully get out to different places and different people and interview you guys because you guys need a voice. You need to be heard. Need to be seen. You know, and to make your company to make the Philippine wrestling scene grow, especially during this pandemic. So yeah, man, it's It's a good time. You know, even though the pandemic is has us locked down, it's still a good time. And what you're doing is good. So what are you doing? Are you training guys
Well,
now, or what are
actually,
you doing now?
yeah. Actually, though, I just want to address that I did, um, I've left. I left MWF. Was it January? I forgot.
Okay.
And though that is true, that's not a storyline. That's no BS. I left the company, the very company that I found. But
I was
no,
gonna say,
I
why did you
won't.
do that? Can you get into that or no? Real quick,
Yeah,
just sum it up.
we can get into that first before the whole seminar promotion thing. Yeah.
Yeah, why
No,
why would you leave? Why did you leave MWF and you're like one of the top guys? Like I asked JDL the same thing. I said, why did you guys leave PWR? I thought, you know, and it wasn't just him. From what I heard, it was a bunch of guys that left. And so for
that's a different
you,
story. Yeah, I'm
okay,
not. I'm good friends with most of the people that left PWR,
right,
but I'm not affiliated with the the mass exodus, the second mass
okay,
exodus that happened. This is a me thing. Sorry. Um, I was thinking about this ever since 2017, before I fought Ho Ho Lun for the very first time, because a lot of reasons piled up. There's creative difference, personal differences. I actually saved the company like once, and then we met Tarek that time, and he made me stay because there were a lot of promising things, but it's not really about the glory or the things that you received. It's about your mental health, your family, your personal things. A lot of those things piled up, and then what really set me off was this pandemic. I really had enough with uh, the management. Nothing really serious. Nothing. There's no animosity. I believe in my heart that they're still my brothers and sisters. Um, all three of them, all four of them. But I don't really see myself staying there anymore, because I have a lot of things in my mind that I want to I want to contribute. I want to help the company to grow. There's a lot of things in my mind that I want to give to MWF. The problem is, um, nobody wants to hear me out to have to risk the ideas that I have. So
mm-hmm.
and that's what ticked me off. Aside from all of the unmentioned reasons, because the biggest gripe that I had with MWF is that uh, I, I I try to say something, and nobody wants to listen until I prove myself, and the only thing that I get is well, that's a learning experience. I don't even get the credit. I was that I'm right about the things that I warned them about, but that's okay. At least they learned. It's just that I could have done things differently, because it's also my promotion. Though I'm not the one
Mm,
providing the money. I'm just the wrestler. I'm just the person that's taking care of the boys. And
mm-hmm.
I don't really hold them I don't have a personal grudge against them, but if I'm gonna treat this as a professional business, I don't see myself professionally progressing. I don't see myself evolving in a state where that I can learn a lot from what's happening right now, because nobody wants to do things properly. And I'm not saying MWF's management is um, they don't do things properly. It's just that I don't think that, or at least in my part, I want to do something different. And I guess
Okay.
that's what I'm doing right now. I'm free. I'm not thinking about anything else. All I want to do is teach wrestling. I won't care about the financial stuff, the shows, how we're gonna reach this amount of audience. I just want to
Mhm.
teach wrestling, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm holding seminars, ironically, for the MWF factory, because they've already learned the basics.
Mhm.
So the least that I can do is help them get there to the main roster, so that we can have a new batch of fresh new talent. That's, so that people would be able to know that, the scene here is growing, the talent here is growing. There's a lot of promising things that they haven't seen before. You
Mhm.
know,
Okay.
I've heard people here in the Philippines said that they've seen things here already from the last show, and that hurts me a lot, because if they already know what's gonna happen, why the fuck would they want to watch the next show? So that's why I'm
Mhm.
teaching these kids what I've learned, and what I've
Okay.
learned is what I haven't shown in public yet. Because not saying that I'm good, not saying that, but I've held myself back, because I'm trying to
Okay.
portray this hero type John Cena, Hulk Hogan type of guy, and now I'm sharing my knowledge to the younger people, and I plan to do this consistently. I plan to at least teach more new aspiring wrestlers, and I hope that
Oh,
a lot of people here are still interested in learning wrestling, even though
wrestling.
it's not their career type choice or whatever, you know.
But
If
you said okay. So I'm sorry. You said that you're training them, but are you training them for MWF also? Because you said you left MWF. Did you leave MWF, or are you just not wrestling for MWF? But you're still connected to them by training wrestlers and then sending them up to MWF.
Well, it's not really my call, for them to, be part of the main roster, passing the young boys or the factory, but the reason why I'm helping them out, so that, at least I could see the fruition of my you know my experience, from somebody else, because I don't know if I'm coming back next year or whatever, because
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. So I'm trying to see if they could be the next Robin Sane. Is I can't teach anywhere else. Is nobody wants to learn from little old me, But
Mhm.
these people, the roster at least, when I left, they supported me, and it really feels good that people still actually believes in me, in
Mhm.
what I say. But
Would
I'm
you
not
let them? I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm cutting. Would you let? So let me just clarify this so people don't get. Would your students, your Robinson students, are they just for MWF, or can they wrestle anywhere else? Can they wrestle PWR, WUW? Can they wrestle anywhere else in the Philippines, or are they just obligated to wrestle for NWF?
you know you know um it's really their choice, but I think they should wrestle in WWE, especially in PWR, so that they would be able to learn. And I don't think that MWF has that hold on a person,
Right.
that they're not really strict. So I
Mhm.
believe that the people, the promotion should get along together in one big
Mm.
super promotion, maybe. uh because it's everybody's divided. It's kind of stupid for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
That if we're
Yeah.
making territories, maybe that makes sense, but we're all
Right.
in the metro. We're all in the fucking metro. I don't understand. It's like less than 30 minutes drive away. Maybe if there's a province branch, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Manila branch,
Yeah.
Palawan. I
Mm.
don't know, man. But
Okay.
yeah. But hey,
But for
just
you,
to answer
but for
your
you,
question directly,
yeah. Go ahead.
just to answer your question directly, so that there won't be any confusion. I'm not. I'm doing this for MWF, and MWF
Okay.
isn't paying me. But I ask for a fee. If whoever wants to learn, they're not required to go to my seminar. So that's the thing. Um, I'm asking them if they want to join me in my seminar, and whoever
Okay.
wants or who's willing to join, they can join. And I'm also teaching non-wrestlers, and that's
Mm.
you know
Okay, but you're not at this point. You're not on the roster for MWF. You're freelancing now.
yeah, you can say that.
Okay, you're freelancing. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
very very proud of that.
yeah. Okay, that's good. And so what do you see? What's the future for Robin Sane? Now that you're not with MWF, you're teaching. Let's just say you teach. It's like a farmhouse for MWF. Philippine wrestlers. What else is in the future for Robin Sane?
Well, no, I don't want to make surprises, but I will return as a wrestler, maybe overseas. Maybe I'll pop up elsewhere. Maybe here in another promotion. Maybe MWF too. If they want to
Yeah.
book me for a right price. I don't want to recode that, but that's the most sensible thing to say, right?
Sounds good. Yeah, right price. Yeah.
Right, right price. I came to some I came to a realization that I'm not top shit, but I want to value myself as a worker. That what I provide, what I learned, and experience doesn't really come along a lot these days, and I'm not that expensive too. Just that
Mhm.
I want to respect myself because I'm not really that paid much, and I have a
Right.
family
Right.
to feed, and I want I want to treat this as a business. It's not really
Mhm.
a hobby, I think.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I try to tell people, you know, you have to treat it as a business. It is a business. It's your livelihood, if that's what you want. Or you could just be a weekend warrior. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's up to
Nothing
you.
wrong with that.
There's
Nothing
nothing
wrong with
wrong with
that.
that. Exactly. Exactly. But if you're gonna make this as a business, you need to invest in your body. You need to invest in T-shirts. You need to invest in pictures. Because every show that you do, you should have a table just for your shit. T-shirts, pictures, whatever. Because whatever the promoter is giving you, I guarantee you it's not enough. It's not enough,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
But I
Right.
mean, we all know what that is, you know what I mean? But uh, why not make some money on the side? You know what I mean? And
Right. Right.
so
Right.
five pesos is better than 0 pesos.
Right.
Have your
Right. Right.
T-shirts.
Right.
I would tell my students make some T-shirts. You know what I mean? Make some pictures. If you don't have money to make T-shirts, you got a computer or you got a phone, you got a cell phone. This is how easy it is to all you guys listening and girls. Take a picture of yourself, print that shit out, go to wherever to print it out, save up 50, 60 pesos, get maybe 50, 60 copies of your picture. There it is. You can
Right.
just
Right.
sell
Right.
that. It don't have to be glossy. It don't have to be glossy paper 8x10s. It should be 8x10s. It
Should
should be
be.
glossy. It should be. But until you get there, until you get to that point, start out generic. Take a picture on your cell phone, your wrestling gear. Go out and get 20 copies of that paper of that picture in 8x10 color. If you can't
Right.
afford color, black and white, you sign it when you're at the show and you sell it for 10 pesos or whatever. Some little kid is gonna buy it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so that's just a start. And
Right.
if you have more money, to do other things, so by all means do it. But it's a business first.
Right. Right. Right.
Get your a Twitter account or a YouTube channel or whatever social media you want to do. Put yourself out there. I'm Robin Sane. I have a class going on. Whatever. Promote it. Don't look at yourself as anything less. You are, for me, you are very talented and very well known here in the Philippine wrestling. And you should. I know you're humble. That's good. But at some point, you have to be you have to start thinking, I'm the shit in a sense. You see what I'm saying? You have to put that in your heart and your mind, because if you don't, you're always gonna say, I know I'm better than this guy, or I'm better here, but I just don't. No, Robin saying you started NWF, you were PWR, you're a pioneer in this country, and so you should act like one, and you should exude that confidence, man. You know, don't always be, Robin saying, nah, fuck that. You be like, I'm Robin saying, put some smoke on my name. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta be. Because if you don't see yourself that in that confidence, then no one else is. Your students aren't, and then you're gonna have students disrespect you. And no matter what, you don't care how big they are, how tough they seem to be, don't have your students disrespect you. You are the master. You are the sensei. And so keep that, man. You know, keep that.
I'll keep that in
I
mind.
like it. Yeah, definitely, man. Because you are. You know, you have to. You definitely have to have that confidence. Maybe open that door. So, but yeah, it's a business for you, and treat it as a business. Everything you do is a business, and that's good that you are thinking you have a fee, because a lot of wrestlers, I just want to wrestle, and that's killing the business. If you say I just want to wrestle, and you don't charge the promoter, that kills it. You know what I mean? So promoter say, hey, Chili, you want to come wrestle? Yeah, this is how much so this is what I'm expecting. You know, unless, but see me, I have a name. I've been there, done that. So I can say yeah or nay to whatever. But for guys who don't have a name, don't have the money, you got to say, hey, this is what I want, you know? And be confident and say, hey, this is what I want. I want 5,000 pesos. You know, I want 2,500 pesos for my appearance. And whatever it may be, you know, I want 20,000 pesos. You know?
Right.
Hello?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, hello? Hello? Yo, Chili. Hey. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it was my internet went out. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Okay, it's back. You can see I'm looking at my screen. It'll pop in later. But but anyway, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, boss.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up soon. But anyway, yeah, I was just saying, man, just keep that confidence in you. And let me change my screen here. It looks crazy.
Sure. Take your time.
So yeah, just keep the faith, man, and don't it's good to be humble, but be confident too.
Right. Keep that in mind.
Definitely, man. But anyway, I wanna thank you for coming on. If there's anything else you want to say or message that you want to send out to anyone, also tell the viewers where they can see you. Your Instagram, Twitter, where you at?
Well, yeah. You can like my page in Facebook. It's facebook.com/I am Robin Sane, and you can look me up in Twitter. Again, if you didn't hear me, you can like me on Facebook, facebook.com/I am Robin Sane, and you can check me on Instagram at I am Robin Sane. And also, I have this seminar going on, so if you're interested, you can hit me up personally. So I'm doing private seminars. I'm not doing this publicly. But if you're really eager to learn, you can just hit me up whenever, and I'll set you up a schedule. Not now.
They can
This is
they can hit you up on your messenger, your Twitter, whatever. They can.
Sorry, what?
That's how they can reach. How can they reach you again? They can reach you.
Yeah, they can reach me on Facebook or Instagram, or if you know me personally, you can just message me up if you're interested. Yeah.
What days are you doing this?
Weekends, mostly Saturday morning.
Okay, Saturday morning. All right, so there you have it. And so if you're very interested in learning pro wrestling, you can hit up Robert Sane, and he will definitely guide you. So yeah,
Not
get
right
your
now.
foot in the
The
door.
COVID is really high up, so
Yeah, you guys on lockdown? I mean, not lockdown, but you're on like a quarantine or whatever you call it, or
Yeah. I don't know. Still don't know. There's no official word yet, so it's really confusing.
okay,
Hey, I wish
yeah,
everybody there who's listening right now to Tilly Willie's podcast to take care of themselves. Always wash your hands and whatnot. If you think the COVID is not real, that's okay. But it's not about it being true or not. It's about you preventing it from happening to your family. So that's just my two cents
right,
about that. It doesn't
yeah,
matter if it's real or not. It matters that you do the protocols, take care of yourself, take care of your
hmm
family, and
yeah,
everybody will survive. And then we can get to wrestle again. Shows again if that happens.
exactly.
Help
Yeah,
help
no,
out. Help us out, bro.
I hope we can get to that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or either get to some point where someone can open up a wrestling facility, something like what they do with AEW or WWE, and just have wrestlers work it and then they live stream it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't have
Sure.
to.
Surely.
It don't have to be a crowd there, but as long as you live stream it, but I guess the promoters probably would say, how we would make my money, It's all about
Right.
money.
Money.
All about the dollars. Yes. But thank you very much, man. And to everyone else who's listening, catch me also on A and C podcast Unraveled with my co-host Andrew Campbell. He's a young guy, young wrestler, cancer survivor, and we do a podcast there live. Started last weekend. We started live, and tomorrow, actually, we will have James Ellsworth on. So you guys check that out.
Nice.
And we just trying to make it happen. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Robin, so much, man. Very entertaining, very truthful. We got to do this again for sure. And hope to see you. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, what you drinking? You still drinking?
Finished, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
No
Cheers,
doubt,
everybody.
brother.
Bye.
All right, brother. Be good. Be safe, man. Take care. Thank you.